Well, howdy doodly, stranger.
I hear that.
You're trying
To use clips
From The Simpsons.
Now you make
thing.
that you have to pay
20th Century Fox.
thousands of dollars
Which is true.
if you want
To
purchase.
Full European distribution rights.
However, if you're a poor student,
Just like me.
then
I've got some
good news.
for you,
There is a way
That you can use the clips.
Freely.
Without the lawsuits.
This.
magical method,
It's called
fair.
dealing.
which is not to be confused.
With the American term
Fair use.
So what does it mean? Well, so by definition, fair.
dealing is a
Limited
Exception.
to
United Kingdom.
Copyright?
law that allows you
To use copyrighted material.
in cases where the copyright
infringement is for the purpose of
commercial
Research.
Or study.
or for reporting current events.
Also,
Criticism.
review quote.
tation.
Teaching
And
Parody.
let me explain.
Because it
Can be
a little bit.
Confusing.
So, let's begin.
The first exception
non-commercial.
research.
Or study.
Basically, under this
Exception.
you are allowed
To
Copy.
and use an
extract.
From
Copyright.
work
as long as it's
for private
study. Or
non-commercial use. You must
also
judge. If the
work you
intended
to create
has a
financial
effect
On the
Copyright?
owner. If you
want
to use
clips.
under
This
exception.
You should.
ensure
at all
work. You use
is supported by sufficient
some recognition.
This
very same.
rule.
applies to
The next exception, which is reporting current events.
essentially
Under
this.
exception, you are allowed to use clips.
And other
Copyright
Material.
to
Report current events.
Ooh.
Just
Beware.
That
you cannot use.
other people's
photographs or photos.
under
this exception.
This
Regulation.
Was
put in place.
To prevent
Media such as
magazines
and newspapers.
from
replicating
and
using
Competitors.
content.
oh. Don't worry, there's plenty
more exceptions
to.
to talk about.
Let's see, the next
Exception,
I think
We should
discuss.
is
Criticism.
and review under
this
Exception.
as long as
The extract.
you
use has been
Published. You may use it
for your
criticism.
Or
for review.
the
Work
You use
under this
exception.
should always be
directly
Relevant.
to
review.
or criticism
That's
being
Undertaken.
okay.
And don't forget,
You
still
have to credit what you used. Oh,
moving on.
Next.
we have quote.
Tation.
This
exception
is
Very similar.
to the previous
one.
Basically,
All you have to remember is
two.
only use
The required
amount of
copyrighted material
and make sure that
what you use.
has been
published
and
For the
100th
time.
Please make
sure
you
give
sufficient
recognition.
and credit
Yet again,
everything I just
mentioned
regarding quote
tation.
should be applied to
the next
Exception.
which is
teaching
and furthermore everything under
This.
exception
must be
For
educational purposes
only. Got it. Finally, we need to talk
About parody.
under this.
Exception.
You may use things like
Copyrighted
clips.
as long as
whatever.
you produce imitates
work.
or
Humorous.
Or
Satirical.
Effect.
and guess what?
you don't
Have to.
Give.
any
credit
Okay, that's a wrap, people.
We have
successfully
covered
every United Kingdom.
copyright.
Exception. I hope you realize after watching
This. Is that you?
may have
more
Freedom!
To use copyrighted material.
Then you first thought,
True. My work here is done.
Thank you for your time.
And thanks for your patience.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
sayonara, dude.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye.
Bye.
Hi.